Are you ready to transform your summer into an epic splash-tastic adventure? Say goodbye to wasteful, single-use water balloons and hello to the ultimate in reusable, eco-friendly fun with reusable water balloons. Check out the link in the video description to get yours on Amazon today.
It's one of the wealthiest states in America, with residents of its fanciest zip code luxuriating in $3 million red brick apartments. But the writing is on the wall for Massachusetts, says an alarming new study. The 50,000 non-legal migrants who've entered the state since Joe Biden became president are putting a costly strain on schools, healthcare, and other services. Jessica Vaughn, author of the report for the Center for Immigration Studies, says the state is destined for bankruptcy. That's because migrants will drain state coffers of a staggering $1.8 trillion over the next 2 years. Even though some non-legal migrants will work and pay taxes, this revenue will not come close to the cost of social services for all 355 million of them, says Vaughn. These migrants represent a looming fiscal disaster for taxpayers in Massachusetts, Vaughn told the Mail. Even if they are working, they are not equipped with skills and education to avoid being a drain on public coffers. Her report comes amid a testy 2024 presidential race, with Republican nominee Donald Trump using immigration as a weapon against his rival, the Democratic Vice President Kamala Harris. Republicans dub Harris a failed border czar, as she was tasked with tackling the root causes of migration from Central America, even as illegal border crossings smashed records. Still, the number of illegal entries has dropped in recent months to levels not seen since the Trump administration, and it remains unclear how the issue will drive voting in November. Trump, for his part, has vowed to launch mass deportations if he returns to the White House. Though more than 2,000 miles from the southern border, Massachusetts has seen some 50,000 newcomer illegal migrants since January 2021, says the study. Some joined relatives, others sought jobs in Boston, Worcester, Springfield, and other big cities. Some used buses provided by officials at the frontier, and a few dozen were controversially flown to the Massachusetts island of Martha's Vineyard by Florida's Republican Gov. Ron DeSantis. They were greeted with open arms by a liberal-leaning state that offers sanctuary protections to migrants. In recent months, however, the mood has changed to frustration. Governor Maura Healey recently announced that migrants would no longer be allowed to sleep overnight at Boston's Logan Airport, after dozens of families had been bedding down there for months. Migrants slept at the emergency department of Boston Medical Center until last year, when they were told to stop. Still, newcomers keep on showing up at the facility and have been seen resting outside on benches. Plans for a shelter for migrant families on Cape Cod have met stiff opposition from residents, who called the proposal a nightmare. The Republican-led city of Taunton was so vexed by state officials sending migrants to an emergency shelter in its 155-room Clarion Hotel that it sued the owners for safety violations. Vaughn's report also documents the outrages committed by law-breaking migrants in Massachusetts. They include a cocaine-smuggling Dominican, a Russian fraudster, and a Guatemalan man who was arrested for child rape. But the most shocking case involves Haitian migrant Corey Alvarez, 26, who is behind bars fighting charges that he raped a disabled teen girl at his shelter in the Comfort Inn in Rockland. Massachusetts already spends $1 billion each year on emergency shelters, but Vaughn says this masks the real cost on taxpayers. The influx of newcomers under Biden, including some 10,000 children, 8,500 of whom traveled without an adult, is further straining education, healthcare, and other social services, it adds. Over the next 2 years, the combined cost of food stamps, schooling, healthcare, and public safety could reach a jaw-dropping $1.8 trillion, says Vaughn. That fiscal time bomb is nearly 3 times the state's entire economy, which was $615 billion last year. Governor Healey, a Democrat, in January joined 8 counterparts from other migrant-hit states, asked the White House and Congress for action at the border and billions of extra dollars to keep services running. But, according to Vaughn, even an emergency grant won't solve Massachusetts' spending woes over the coming years. Instead, state lawmakers need to cut welfare payouts to migrants and get tough with employers who hire those